Young, tipsy, and black.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Torrance, and welcome to the Young, Tipsy, and Black podcast, a podcast combining two of my favorite things, music and wine/spirits. I wanted to create a podcast that would allow me time and space to really dive into music the way that I want to, because I love music. It's my passion. It's literally all that I do and all that I think about all the time. Constantly looking for new music, constantly searching for new artists. So like I wanted a space where I could do that. But then I also wanted to honor another thing that I really enjoyed, like wine and spirits, right? Like specifically wine and how it is looked at as like this really pretentious and like, I don't know, I guess elitist space. And I want to simplify that for all of us, specifically for people of color, Black people. Like, we deserve to be in those spaces. It's so much fun to go to vineyards and wine bars and wine tastings and really just dive into it. And I remember talking to some people and being like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to this wine tasting or whatever. Oh, you fancy? You doing it?" No, honey. I guess if you want to say that, but like I'm not. At the same time, I'm just regular old me, but I enjoy a good wine tasting, and I like the way it tastes. I love the different flavor profiles, and like I just wanted to dive in and explore it and make it, I guess, more accessible for us. Like kind of talk about the language and not make it sort of something that went all over everybody's head. Let's simplify it. Why not? If I can do it, you can too. So really, really excited about this podcast. I cannot wait for you all to come along this journey with me as I learn more about wine and spirits and things and share my passion for music. There will be some hot takes. There will be some shit talking. There's gonna be all kinds of stuff in here. So I'm really, really excited for this. And yeah, I feel like we should just dive right into this thing, right? So, every episode I'm going to have like this. The first segment is like, what's in my cup, right? Like, what's the wine of the podcast or the liquor of choice for the podcast? And then I'm going to pair it with an album and why the album gives me that vibe and why I could sit and listen to this album while drinking this bottle or drinking this cocktail, and it just feels right. You know what I'm saying? So for this episode, we're going to jump to, I wanted to honor and find Black-owned wines, which is a task, right? Like, it's very difficult. It's been very, very difficult for me to find a bunch of them. It's like a small percentage of winemakers are Black-owned anyway. So I'm going to do my best to find them and review them and bring them here. So the first one is the largest one in the States, from the McBride sisters here. You probably have seen Black Girl Magic Wines. I'm gonna do like the influencers too. Hold it like that. So shout out to the McBride sisters. And I like to, do a little background specifically for those, Black-owned wines and things like that. But the McBride sisters, they have such an interesting story. One sister grew up in New Zealand, the other one in California, not knowing that the other existed. And, unfortunately their father passed, and the family was like, "Hey, you have a sister and we're going to find her." And they both loved wine in New Zealand, the one in New Zealand and the one in California. They both had an affinity for wine. And so when they finally got, reconnected, or connected, if you will, they were both like, "Wait, you love wine? I love wine. Let's do this thing." Yeah, this is the most, accessible Black-owned brand sort of in the US, really. Like, you can find it at the Target, you can find it at Bevmo, at Total Wine and More. Like, you can find this is a pretty, like accessible Black-owned business, like wine. So I recommend going and checking them out. We're gonna do a nice little taste to see what's going on. And this is a Sauvignon Blanc, right? And let me crack this open right now, pour it right in the glass, get a nice little moment going. Oh, let's do a little let's do a little ASMR moment. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, great. So a Sauvignon Blanc, it's supposed to be, and I also want to talk about like what the flavor profiles are supposed to be for, right? And what I taste based on what I'm tasting, right? Because everyone's going to tell you, oh, this should taste like this, and this is going to have this, it's going to have that. I did a wine tasting in Mexico City, and she was like, I don't like when people say, oh, it's supposed to taste like this, that, and the third. She said, what if you grew up in a space that did not access, like you didn't have access to that particular food or that particular like smell or something like that. She's like, you would never associate it with that. So I kind of adopting that sort of method to be like, do I taste this? Is this what it is that I feel? So this is supposed to be a fruity, light, and crisp wine with a decent amount of acidity. And like when they talk about acidity, they're talking about like the lemony, like how how you eat a lemon and your mouth starts to water a little bit. Yeah. So it's supposed to have a decent amount of acidity there. So you're gonna water a little bit, and it's supposed to be like crisp and delicious. And so, with that mindset of it being light, crisp, and delicious, we have Lianne La Havas's self-titled third album, right? And this one is a little bit different than her previous works, right? Her first and second album, they were a bit more heavy. You know what I'm saying? They got a little heavy, got a little weight on them. Okay, little sadder themes in those ones, right? But then, she comes around with her third, her studio album, her third one, self-titled at that. And you have songs like Bittersweet, which is like, please stop asking, do you still love me? Don't know what to say. Let's speak in the morning. Basically, like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, let's talk about this later. Like, don't do this. I'm tired. You're getting on my nerves. You're getting on my nerves. It's giving very much freedom, right? Like this song, Green Papaya. What else? Can't Fight. Read My Sour Flower, right? Like these songs are, kind of funky, up tempo, vibey, and that's what I think about when I think of a Sauvignon Blanc. Sauvignon Blanc is one of my favorites. I have not tried the McBride sisters one, so we're gonna try this now. You know what I'm saying? And this could be a go-to, so we got to see. So let's give her a nice little taste. Let's give her a nice little taste. Okay. Again, yeah, my mouth is watering because like the acidity is a little high in this here, but it tastes good. It's not too sweet, but it's also not like extremely dry. This one is not an extremely dry Sauvignon Blanc because I've had drier ones. But this is like really good. Oh yeah, I'll be drinking this. We'll be drinking this a lot. And this is again, it just when I drink this, it just I don't know, it just makes me feel so like free. Like take me home, let's make real love. I don't know. It's just, yeah. So, shout out to Lianne La Havas. If you know me, you know how I feel about that girl. That girl does it for me every single time. Does not miss. Has not missed. And if you're ever in the store and you see McBride Sisters Sauvignon Blanc, go ahead and pick up a bottle. Go ahead to the Spotify, to the Apple Music. Better yet, go ahead and buy the album. Lianne La Havas is self-titled, her third studio album. And give it a good listen while sipping away. That's literally, it's just, I don't know, it just seemed right to me and this feels right. When you listen to, y'all, I put my foot in this one and this is the first one. Yeah. Did that. Love that for me. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we did that. So now we're going to jump to the Tipsy Tea part. Now, this is when I dive a little bit deeper into the music industry, talking about things that are happening in mainstream current event music, things or whatever. So get ready for me to give my opinion about stuff and for me to talk a little shit because that's what I do best. So, yeah, let's do that. Get myself together. All right, y'all. So this is the Tipsy Tea part of the Young Tipsy and Black podcast. I wanted to have a space where I can really dive into what's going on in the industry, who's doing what what's important to me to discuss and what I like to discuss. I feel like this is gonna be my favorite part of it because I get to sort of talk a lot of trash, but I ain't gonna talk too much trash, y'all. I promise. It's gonna be nice. I'm gonna be nice because again, I'm not like the Tasha K's of the world. You ain't finna sue me. I'm gonna just tell you what I read. I'm gonna tell you what I think, and I'm gonna tell you what I read. I ain't gonna tell you, oh, such and such did this with somebody. That ain't my business, okay? I just want to talk about the facts and what the facts that I've gotten from these nice little outlets here. And these are some, reputable places. So, we're gonna stick to the news and just sharing the news and what I think versus accusing nobody of nothing. Because you ain't finna sue me. Okay? Great. All right. So, we can start by saying that SZA released some new music. She released a new single called Saturn. And I actually like it because I can actually understand what she's saying. Because sometimes, how sometimes she just, it be italicized. It's calligraphy, if you will. So I do appreciate this song Saturn. It sounds really, really nice. I really, really like it. Yeah, it sounds real good. I like it. That's all I can say. If you haven't listened to it, I say give it a listen. It is worth definitely a listen. I mean, like SZA has had a fantastic few, year and a half, with her last album. Arguably, one of the most popular albums that is there, and the Grammys kind of did a weird thing. But again, that's last. We're gonna leave that behind us because if I talk about that, we'll be here all night, and we all have shit to do. Right? Yeah, exactly. Speaking of new music, Beyonce released 2 new singles. Texas Hold'em and 16 Carriages. 16 Carriages is quadruple diamond, platinum. It's chrome. It's everything. It's everything in this household. I've listened to it over and over again. I'm nervous that my neighbors are going to knock on the wall and be like, so, do you know any other music? Do you know anything else? So that's fine. And, Beyonce made history with being, let me make sure I get this correctly, being the first Black woman to score a #1 hit in the history of Billboard's Hot Country Songs list with Texas Hold'em, right? Like, what we're seeing here is one person sort of controlling, which is great to see, like someone having the influence, and I don't say controlling, but having the influence to push music in a different direction, push music into a fantasy. And see, that's the thing. The problem is that country artists and country listeners and whatever are looking at this as a negative. No, honey, these people are about to be starting to make some money, okay? Your peoples is about to get hit on some stuff. Because if Beyonce featured you on her projects, if you come, like she did with the Dixie Chicks, okay, or with the Chicks at the Country Music, Awards, again, that was backlash because they some haters. But Beyonce said, oh, I got something for that ass. I'm going to release an entire project, and you're going to have no choice but to acknowledge me. You're not going to have a choice but to, because then it's like, is this, I hope this isn't racism rearing its ugly head. You know what I'm saying? With the lack of acknowledgement, completely, like ignoring it, right? So I'm very excited for this project coming at the end of March 29th. I am not financially ready for the concert that I know which is to soon follow. I don't know what everyone is thinking between her and Usher and Mariah. I don't know what everyone is doing. There are some priorities that I have in my life as an adult now, and I just can't afford to go to all these concerts. Am I going to try to go to all these concerts? I am. I absolutely am. I absolutely am. Every day, I'm going to try to figure out a way to carry the one and get me the money that's necessary for these concerts, for these tickets. Now, Usher, I think I missed that boat. I'm gonna have to wait for the nice free sales. I'm gonna have to wait for the last minute day of, like, ooh, let me go down to the stadium with a full battery on my, full charge on my phone, so that I can start looking at buying tickets right there at the spot. You know what I'm saying? Be in the vicinity and see what's happening. So yeah, so Beyonce, girl. Okay, girl, that's it. That's all I got to say about that, right? Really excited for the country album. I love country music personally. Definitely, heavy on the whiskey lullabies and the suds and the buckets and the chicks and the Brad Paisley. Sign me up. I'm about to eat this up. And guess what? I'm getting me some boots, and I'm gonna get me a hat. Y'all gonna see me in a hat. Watch your mouths, but y'all finna see me in this hat. It's gonna be great. Let's see. Usher's Coming Home album, also fantastic. Ruined. It really is such a great album for me through and through. There are some songs that I listened to that I was like, okay, this is different, or like they'll play it on the radio all the time, or like on the TikToks or whatever. So it's a little whatever, but all in all, great album, fantastic. If you haven't listened, I say listen to it. It's worth it. Yeah, and you know what, y'all? I'm debating on talking about this last one, but I don't think I have a choice. So the reason I'm talking about this is because while it is not a music specific like thing, we have a great, legendary musician in it. So Tyler Perry released a movie called Mea Culpa on the Netflix with Trevante Rhodes and the Kelly Rowland. And I have been debating on whether I should say how I really feel about it, because for the last 48 hours, I've been a bit confused by it. It doesn't necessarily make sense. I don't know if it was supposed to make sense. At this point, I think it's a gag. This is my conspiracy theory brain going right now and being like, oh no, he's doing this on purpose. And then in 2 years, he's gonna put out a documentary and be like, y'all was eating this up, y'all was tearing this shit up, y'all was, that's why the ratings are so high, because y'all don't know. But there were so many structurally unsound things that happened in the movie, and I wouldn't be able to sleep. I wouldn't be able to, go to bed at night if I didn't say how I actually felt. Kelly's great. Trevante's great. They had Ron Rico Lee in there. Okay. Had Ron Rico in there. A little throwback, a little Tyreek moment. Had Miss Thornton also in there. You know what I'm saying? So these are people who are no names, and they are talented as all hell. Talented. Okay. There was a point where we paused the movie. I watched it with some friends. We paused the movie and we were like, wait, Trevante can really act, right? Because again, the dialogue that he was spitting out of his mouth was like, what is he talking? This is like, I don't know. It just didn't fit. And he's so amazing, and Kelly's amazing, and it just didn't come off as amazing. And I think it was because nothing really made sense. There were so many coincidental moments that didn't really add up. That didn't really oh my goodness. Where the skull? How they get the skull fragments? How they get that if the girl is on the beach in the Dominican Republic? How they get her skull fragments? Her hair was up. Her hair was fine. Her hair looked fine to me. Know what I'm saying? Why they get on the motorcycle? Where was y'all going? But y'all didn't go nowhere. Why did y'all cut that scene out? I needed to see that. We all needed to see where they were going. Because what they did was they left the apartment, got on the motorcycle, and just rode around. What? And then came back and then y'all got busy? That's all it took was a ride on the motorcycle to convince her to change her mind? Wow. Right? Then the mother, the mother-in-law, psychopath, crazy, couldn't be. I don't know too many. I don't know too many black women who would take that. I don't. That kind of disrespect? You know what I'm saying? Like there's always some, some tension. I understand that be happening. But the tension exists in the family and it be like, oh, I'm throwing little slight jabs at you here, there, woo, 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 woo. But that blatant disrespect, absolutely bonkers. Doesn't make any sense. Doesn't add up. Not even for the character who she was. Like, not even Mia's character, like Kelly Rowland's character, Mia. She wasn't given that. She wasn't given docile, I'ma lay down and let you say and do whatever you want to do with me. Then it got weird with the get out twist at the end. Like, it was just so weird. Like, I was like, what's going on? Like, now everyone's a murderer? Like, what's happening? This doesn't make any sense. So needless to say, I'm going to make sure I put a little spoiler thing on it, because it is, if you haven't seen it, if you haven't seen it, it's okay. I feel bad for saying that because I like Tyler Perry. I ain't gonna lie. His older stuff, his Medea, the plays, oh baby, that was me all day. I'm a musical head ass, but I love a good musical. I do. Really, really do. And they were funny and they were comical. Oh, they got a little churchy on you. You know what I'm saying? Me and my sister used to quote them all the time. But right now, stuff is not adding up. 1 + 1 is not equaling 2, and it's stressing everybody out, including me. And I wouldn't be me if I didn't tell y'all how I was feeling. Because right now, I was stressful. It was stressful to watch. It was stressful to recover because afterwards I had to ask myself questions. Because sometimes my brain be breaking when things don't make no sense at all. And I'm fighting to find ways to, a little tipsy, y'all. Fighting to find ways to have it make sense so that I can this has to rationalize in my brain. If it doesn't make sense to me, then we have a problem. And I had a problem. I was unwell for a day and a half. Couldn't do it. Couldn't get myself together. Couldn't. We good now. We back. We're back. We've moved on from it because the reality is it just won't make sense to none of us. So, say all that to say that if you have not watched Mea Culpa, that's okay. If you have, please let me know your thoughts. Very curious. Because what in the hell? All right, y'all. I feel like, I sipped a little bit, spilled a little bit, a little tea on y'all, little capital T on y'all. So we should get back to the rest of the show. Don't you think? Let's do that. Let's do it. All right. So, again, I'll be talking the trash. I'll be saying the things, and I love to do that. That's to say that. So, this last part is called Sip Responsibly. And this is when I read stories and things that people have posted about their drunken escapades and why it's important to sip responsibly. Let me take a sip now that we're talking about this. Get into McBride Sisters. Shout out to their Sauvignon Blanc. So good. All right. So, yeah, I'm just gonna read the story and then we're gonna talk about it together as a family. Shall we? We shall. So this one says, I was headed to a party with a group of friends and needed some liquid courage to help me approach a guy I thought was cute. Okay. I drank half a bottle of Jameson and headed to the party. I spotted him, walked over, felt funny, turned around, walked out, and barfed. Damn, girl. I somehow ended up at my friend's house to 1,000 messages. Turns out my friend made out with the guy I was trying to approach because I was too drunk to get there first. Now I can't drink Jameson or eat pesto chicken sandwiches. And it also sounds like you don't have a friend. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if we go, okay, hold on. Listen, you drink what you drink. Jameson, that's a whole bottle. Half a bottle of Jameson is a lot. Okay? You really, that much courage, insanity. Half a bottle of Jameson at that? Like, come on, let's step our cookies up. Just a smidge. Nothing wrong with Jameson, but like a half a bottle of it? Yikes. Okay? We're already playing the devil's game. We're already playing with her, right? And then you get too drunk right now. Now you're too drunk, right? Liquid courage is like a shot or two. Half a bottle? Ma'am, what's going on? That's not even courage anymore. We've crossed that threshold. We've left the courage building at this point. Now we're playing silly games. When you do clownery, what does Monique say? It comes back to bite that ass. So you do this, you send these messages, you do these things, and then you turn in a boy's face. You can't even talk to him because you're so drunk off the Jameson. So you walk outside and you throw up. And you say, I don't feel well. Ladies, I'm going home. Then your raggedy ass friend says, girl, you was too drunk to talk to him, so I did it for me. I take your man. That's not a friend, girl. The fact that you even called her my friend made out with, you should have said my associate. Because that's not a friend anymore. That's actually an enemy. Because if I tell you I like somebody, and then I can't do that communication, and you run behind me and you do that, we're not friends. We never were. We never were friends. We were never acquaintances. We merely, honestly, we hated each other and we just didn't know it yet. And so now that I know that you hate me, because why would you ever? Because, hold on. Because girl, why would you ever treat me in such a manner? Unacceptable, inappropriate. That's inappropriate behavior. Again, not a friend. And so now she's saying, now I can't drink Jameson anymore, and rightfully so, and eat pesto chicken sandwiches. I think that must have been yuck. But again, girl, you don't have a friend. That's not a friend. Hope you're not hanging out with her anymore. Girl, do better. Love on yourself. Find better friends, okay? This is why it's important to sip responsibly, ladies and gentlemen, because you'd have missed out on a man that you want because you got real drunk. And you have that, I'm just going to associate her drinking a half a bottle of Jameson with her poor decision-making with her friends. She ain't really got no good friends, because what the hell? Unacceptable, right? So I don't know, y'all. Just remember to sip responsibly. This is getting nasty. I can't wait for these things to get a little spicy. And then I hope that, as these things progress, you guys feel comfortable sharing your drunk stories with me and I read them anonymously. You know what I'm saying? I may even read some of mine. You won't know. I mean, some of y'all will know because you know me and you could have been there. But still, y'all, because again, that's not your friend. I don't know why she said friend in this. I think that's what's throwing me off the most. That she said my friend made out with the guy I was trying to approach because I was too drunk to get there first. What? Not you snooze, you lose. What the? This is horrible. This is awful. Sorry, girl. Sucks to suck, but I guess when you do clownery, the clown comes back to bite. Well, all right, y'all. Thank you so much for listening to Young Tipsy and Black podcast. Again, my name is Torrance, and I'm so excited that you guys will be joining me on this journey. If you listen thus far, that means you love me a little bit. I'm looking forward to more of this, seeing where this brings us, my journey with wine and music, and where it can take, my own knowledge and how I just build on it. This is gonna be so much fun. I'm so excited. Sorry, clearly I'm tipsy. Love y'all so much. Y'all stay blessed and sip responsibly, please. Adios.